Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. Tonight we're going to talk about Pillage and the raid strategy guide for the Electric Storm, which starts next week this time, depending on your world. We'll say hello to the panel and we'll figure out who decided to call Arizona last night. So, Lady Cat
Hello.
and Kenny. Okay.
Kenny's off counting ballots as fast as Pennsylvania.
Yes, he's in Canada, so and Derpy.
Oh, I don't know. I think there was voter fraud in the pet contest, but that's just me.
I guess we could discuss that. And Magic Mike.
Hi, I think Kenny's probably unloading all the ballots from his trunk.
In Canada. So
From Canada.
well, he's in Canada, so maybe he's
finished then. He's probably just...
Yeah, he probably took some from Ohio up to Canada.
Yeah, must have.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's get started with bug fixes. All right.
Bugs in this game? I don't believe you.
Fix an issue where R&D speed up did not match what is shown in the locator and did not match the R&D speed up received. Okay, are they talking about map speed?
I think it's if you're doing R&D and you hit a base, you can get some time off of yours. That's what I'm going for.
Okay.
But I think that actually only matters if you
if you're doing R&D and somebody else is doing R&D?
Yes, and it's the same level R&D. If I'm researching a token, that's not the same as objective level 16. I think those are way different.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's probably doesn't show up for most people playing the game. So oh well. Fixed a user interface bug where evade from the tactical lab was improperly factored into Hull's total evasion, resulting in Hulls looking like they would achieve over 100% evade. This was a visual issue only. Actual evade in combat has been working correctly. This appears to have been fixed in HTML5, but not in Flash. If you want to click one more time. This is a build I put together yesterday. And if you take a look at the right, still show an evade bonus of 113%.
God damn it. Why can't we have nice things?
Well, it appears to work correctly in HTML5. So if you want to know what you're actually...
Well, I'm checking on that right now, so we'll get back to you if I can get over 100%.
Okay, in Flash.
I'm on HTML5 right now, and I'm checking.
No, in HTML5, this same build is in the 90s.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just got 97% evade, and yeah. I will share the code, see if that's possible, and I'll switch over to Flash.
Okay.
But I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, but yeah, this is an old issue, though. You know, I remember this issue a year ago. So, but maybe there's confusion, and that's what Derpy was talking about. Was you need to be at the right, correct level in order for it to work out correctly. Yeah. Yeah, because it's really not an issue for most people. So, but this is an issue that we discussed on last week's show, but it appears to be an issue for a long time. So at least they made the effort to try and fix it, at least in HTML5. So, are you going to be close with that, Derpy, or?
Yeah, I just the paste feature of the hash codes doesn't actually work very well all the time. I just need to fill in the last few armor slots manually. And we have a confirmed evade of, it's 97%. So
in Flash?
In Flash. Nope, it's not. I didn't switch.
Okay, alrighty. Well, I'm glad we got that.
I just switched browsers.
Okay.
Not operating system, whatever.
Okay, so I don't know. I did this yesterday in Flash, and this is what I got. So we'll just go with that at this point in time, and unless we have breaking news that Derpy gets 97%. So let's move on if we have nothing else on bug fixes. All right, the November stimulus package.
That was held up in Kickside Congress for a while.
Yeah, and I bet most of the guys are happy I didn't put a picture for this one because there is a big empty spot for it. But every day you're going to get 2 1-hour ship repair tokens, which do not stack. Then 50K of titanium, uranium, and base parts, which do stack up and above, which I guess everybody's familiar. This has been going on for a day or two. But I think starting tomorrow, there wasn't really a start date on it. We get a weekly supply chest. You can claim them at any point during the week. Well, you don't have a choice; it just pops up. But if you only log in once a week, you're going to get it. With a 12-hour Photon ECM build token, a 12-hour Everest build token, and then one of the following 4. The Photon ECM, the UV, the flagship, the UV Photon ECM, Everest, or Cloudbreaker Everest. And we're not, I don't think we're going to run into, let me see, if this happens 4 times, but the way the timing's looking out, it might only happen 3 times. I don't know at this point, and I guess nobody knows what the limit is. So that might be something to pay attention to, because if somehow randomly you were getting Photon ECM every time in your bonus, you could work your way up to 6 or 8, which might exceed a bonus or a cap of 5. So keep an eye on that, but we don't know what the answer is at this point. So.
And the breaking news is I've achieved 115% evade and 115 in Flash. So
how did I only get 113?
Well, because I used a different build. I used a Punisher.
Oh, okay. All right, all good. So, yes, this it was remedied in HTML5, but not in Flash. So, all righty, if we're done with the stimulus package. All right, right now we're in Pillage, and we got the raid strategy guide last night. Next week is the raid, a new FM, VXP weekend, and a new contest.
Oh boy! This time, what's it gonna be?
I don't know. I mean, dress your cow up as a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Okay, we could do some of that. Make your favorite Thanksgiving pirate food and post it on forums.
Yeah, I did mention to Geely the idea that we talked about on the show as far as naming the whole grouping of a raid cycle ship, the 2 specials, the 2 weapons, and then the flag, as far as because they're all connected. She said she'd look into it, but I don't know if they're going to do anything with that. But that was an idea I threw out there, but who knows what they're actually going to do. And all right, and a new PV Hell calendar. So let's see what's next. All right. The only thing out of ordinary here is that, right before Christmas, we're going to have Krampusnacht. So.
So they're completely copy and pasting the entire year, not just the weeks, the special events too.
Yeah. Well, at least this is it seems to line up with dates, and this is followable.
I think if I recall, I gave this calendar a check. I think all the weeks and stuff were right. I think my one comment there was it says the November 20th. It says the assault hull. November 25th, the Assault TLC, it says Photon ECM, when in reality it should stay Photon ECM and Zealot. If not, Zealot as a priority, because I expect that might actually do better, but we'll have to see.
Oh, you think the Zealot might do
Better than the Photon, yes, because the drones and the splash and
Okay.
the high evade on those things.
Well, I'm glad I kept my remote raiders. I didn't end up using it. So, okay. They give us a gift every day. So,
Every day of Christmas or the 12 days of Christmas?
well, they did do like a 12 or 13 days of Christmas last year, and I don't know what they're going to do this year.
I think they'll give us something for Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, they said to keep an eye out for the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. But it seems like you would do that earlier in the month, not December 23rd.
Well, they're starting in November now, so we're going to get out to some pretty cool things, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's move on.
Ever get cramps at night? Never mind.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember when they gave us all 100 gold, and people complained, so they didn't do it for years, and then it was finally 50.
I remember when they gave us 1,000 gold before you could actually buy gold, but that was back in beta. So we have the High Ground TLC that's happening this week, which I recommend everybody do. And we talked about it a little bit earlier or last week, to spend down your Everest build tokens, because you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 6. There's only 3 mastery rounds in this one, so that you could have equipped the armors that you'd already received and do it free and easy and simple. You're also going to get 3 each of the new armors, and also ones for the Cloudbreaker. So I would recommend doing this, and this is a garrison target, as I recall, correct?
Yep, it was all Praetorian targets that your Everest will likely do better in.
Mm-hmm. And you could auto it pretty easily. So
yeah, there was some debate about whether you wanted to auto it with 2 ships, 3 ships, or all 5. I actually didn't find it a big difference, personally.
Well, it's probably the distribution of. You think it was the distribution of countermeasures?
I'm not sure. I think that 2 ships, you'll have almost all there'll be both there'll be 6 hours damage across 2 ships, but if you have 4 hours damage across 2 ships, or 4 hours damage across 5 ships, I don't really think it makes a big difference.
Okay. All right. For some reason I don't remember it being that much damage, but okay.
It was an example.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next DLC.
Oh, and on that note, make sure to check your tokens so you don't overfill on Everest build tokens. I know I'm at max before starting, so just check those.
Mm-hmm. So I told them to spend them down using the armors that they already have.
What if I don't have any extra armors and they're all equipped already? I have max tokens.
How did you do that? Did you use?
I might not have max tokens. I'll double check.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you do unless you were spending real time. The Creeping Barrage TLC. This is, as I recall, this is also Garrison. I should check. No, not in the game.
Yeah, it is. It is Garrison.
Okay,
so a garrison fleet's really going to be worn out this week.
We have 4. We Pillage. You have 2 TLCs and FM.
Yeah. Yeah, and last week we had 2 assault TLCs. So yeah, it seems like, I don't know. I guess it has to be intentional. I mean,
Well, that's why we have our pair tokens, I guess.
Yep. 2 hours a day. So this was a much, if you're not maxed out on invader plates, this is probably the most efficient way to get them. Probably much less damage or grinding time than getting them in bounty. So that's another one. I only show the TLCs that I think are, potentially worth doing. So I guess it's time to get into Pillage. Alrighty. I know everybody's excited. So,
Well, it's the same as 2 months ago, and the same as 2 months before that, and the same as 2 months before that. We have a new fleet, and we get a flagship as a prize.
yep, and we have a new target. So let's get on to the targets. The skirmish 145 is a mutineer target. I'll have a picture in a second. It's one of the simpler looking skirmish targets. And I think it's mostly going to be a timing exercise, and it's definitely an audible target. And then we had the 138 that we had last month. So and we're going to have this mutineer target for next month as well. So all right, well, let's move on then. All right, this is the mutineer target. As you see, there's nothing. It's basically a timing exercise to get the ammo ships to line up with the juggernauts. There's not going to be any flaming cheese balls or anything of that nature flying at you. So it's a fairly, and there's no floating clouds. So it's a very auto-friendly target. And people are beginning, at least Derpy and Ladycat, had very consistent numbers of 46 minutes on auto. Were either one of you using a crew or without a crew?
I had sea submarine.
I was using no crew, so.
Huh. Okay.
Well, I had 45 minutes, not 46. So there.
Well, I think I was 46 and change. You may have rounded to 47. So I also have one ship still hanging out at U3.
Okay. Okay. Well, that doesn't. I don't know. Do you want to run through it, or?
I've got 12 I can do one in 7 minutes, or someone else can do one now.
I can do one, and we can see what
how you managed to?
my problem was.
Yeah. Go ahead and start getting set up.
Make sure I get the right one, the right ship.
Normally, when people are doing this target, 95% of the damage is concentrated on one or two ships because of the accuracy-based nature of the torpedoes coming off the juggernauts, and that you should be able. They do shoot off drones, but unless you're trying to get hit by the drones, your ships are advanced enough at this point that they're going to kill the drones before they get in range. But somehow when Mike did it, he managed to get equal damage on all the ships, and that's.
It appeared that way. I'm not gonna say that it was because I.
And it was also you were taking an hour of damage was the other issue.
53, right? Yeah, 53 and change.
Okay.
Which did not excite me a lot, so I got to share. Share screen.
All right. Adding you in. So I need full screen.
I'm gonna find a target. There's a target. Okay. Say one.
You're front and center right now, so.
Okie doke. Debating whether I should just auto it or drive it.
I'd auto it. I meant drive.
Okay.
Well, if you're going to be ready in 7 minutes, one of you should auto and one should drive. Who wants to do which?
Well, why don't I drive and then you can see what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
And feel free to stop me at any point to do something different if I need to.
And all your ships are at X1?
Yep. They're all pretty much identical too, so.
Okay. Yeah, after this first one, you want to sort of line it up so you also have a ammo carrier. So you might want to keep on moving. Just
for this target, you pretty much need to stay moving the entire time for all the timing to work out. It's designed that way.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing there, avoiding that ammo carrier so you can use it against the Jug X.
Yeah. Now aim at the Jug X. Aim at it. Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Perfect. Sometimes the drones take a... Okay, now keep moving here. And you can kill that one. Sometimes the drones get a shot or two off at me. But
Nuts. Get too close to it.
that's probably 5 seconds damage. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, the ammo carriers do have a very short range weapon, so yeah, don't run them over.
Well, I already see what I was doing wrong the first time.
I usually go to the left of that one, but it should work out either way here. Stay away from that one.
Yeah,
You don't want to kill it.
And don't
You
get
don't kill it, and don't go too close there.
There you go.
Okay. Well,
Okay, now you can kill it, and then but keep on moving towards that. Yeah, don't kill that one. Well, you can, but you want to concentrate on that.
I would not kill the one you're shooting at right now, so you can use it even if you have to wait a second or two right there. If you stop, and then once it's going to be in range, you can move forward and use that now. Off to the right a little bit. Perfect.
Okay, aim at the jug.
So
And
I already know what I did wrong.
Yeah, you got to keep.
I
And then
took all the jugs out first,
okay, go forward quickly.
and then I went back and killed the ammo carriers, and I should not have done that.
That's the general idea there.
No,
And I'd say that's an above average job. I mean, you took 1 or 2 shots from one ammo carrier, which I don't think does much damage anyway.
Yeah, you can just push the S button.
I did.
Okay.
Now, if you go to your ship damage on the tab on the bottom right, and you open that up, is all of it on 1 or? Looks like number 1 has very little. What was that? Number 5 and number 2.
2 and 5.
So I'm going
It's pretty interesting.
minutes and 15 seconds.
I'm going 21.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. 26.
Okay. All right. And most of the damage is going to be concentrated. It appears in ship 2 and 5. So.
Well, the mistake I made before was to kill all the juggernauts and forget about the ammo carriers, and didn't do that. I did them at the end. Actually steered clear of them. So that's exactly what not to do.
But you weren't getting close enough to get the refuel?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Double the damage.
Okay. All right. Well,
But do you want to see my ship's auto init?
I mean, I don't know, unless you want to drive it too. I mean, but he did it, is there anything different that you would do?
No. That was pretty much the exact path that I would have went through.
Okay.
So how about
Knowing you're going to get 46 minutes of damage, and if you put a Sea Serpent screw on there, you might have taken less damage, Mike.
You'll be happy I was using Cruise the other day.
Okay.
I was using Cruise. I use Crew on every one of the TLCs.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess we can go back over to the slides.
Unless, do you want to... I don't know. Never mind. I was going to say if you want to demo the other...
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in a month. Does either one of you want to hit
I take over an hour, like an hour and a half damage on it. I don't know what...
Yeah, I should be able to go through the Everest one.
Okay, you hit the Everest one, and then Mike, if you want to hit it afterwards, and lessons learned, we can go.
Could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay, and I'm just checking. Okay, here we go. So my Everest build, for what it's worth, is I have all the armor on the flag, and then partial armor on 2 ships and full armor on 2 ships. Okay. So it is pretty heavily armored, and if you don't have any armor, you'll probably take about twice the damage I take.
Well, before you launch them, go back through. Oh, okay. So do you have? You say full armor, but you have.
I have 3 missile, 3 explosive of the newest kind, on 3 of the ships.
Okay. Okay, because you have you only have 3 countermeasures. That's the issue I wanted to get at as far as the differences in how many armors that you can carry. If you have 4 countermeasures, you can go all the way with the new armors. If not, you're stuck at 4, 3, 4.
Yeah, and on my ships that are fully fitted in terms of all the armor, I have to take off a mortar or play around with the countermeasure special.
Okay.
We can talk about that more at the end there.
Okay.
So if I'm driving, I'm going to start out stacked up and move off to the left a little bit, so I can engage these vultures right here with the mountains blocking them.
Mm-hmm.
And you need some pretty high countermeasure speed in this target to shoot down all the incoming mortars, or even a few of the incoming mortars. Then I use the mountain, still max range, to block the vultures. Once those are dead, I can move on forward. I like to just charge across this one ice patch here. Others might like to go around the whole way. I don't want to hit that many targets that way, so I'm going to go through one. I'm also going to keep the fleet stacked up. And what I'm trying to do is kill this thunderclap as quickly as possible so it doesn't do too much damage to me. I'm also going to try and keep moving and stay out of these other rings. Now, against my next step is to move around this island here so that this halo I just hovered over doesn't do too much damage to me. To do that, I have to try and get around this as quickly as possible, and it just fired once there. So it looks like you can get around, but I don't think
you can.
I don't think I can.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes it does, and I don't understand if you create a midpoint. I don't understand when it does and when it doesn't.
Yeah, if you click partially here, partially there, do it in steps, it might be different. Yeah. And then as soon as that, actually just before that Hellstar dies, I go forward to kill the Halo before that one does too much damage to me. A few volleys at that one. If you split your ships up right now, you'll probably take less damage, and you split ship 1 off to the side, ship 2 off to the other side. You might take a little less damage. Against the center part of the target, I'm going to go around here, and my goal is to take out this Halo you can see at the very left of the picture. So I'm going to move forward here and try and take this one out while staying out of the range of the other rings here for the longest period of time possible. It's also possible for me to go inside that area first.
Yeah, go north. That way you don't have to get into the... Okay. Oh, you didn't cross over there. Okay. Because I've always gone...
I didn't cross over to the left, but I am in range of the thunderclap.
Okay.
Then I'm going to engage the thunderclap first over the Hellstar, these 2 mortar turrets, because the thunderclap is the one that actually does damage to me. And trying to stay outside the Hellstar range of its short-range rockets so it doesn't do too much damage to me. Then let's go up to the vultures here, and I try to engage. There's no real way to block these. If you can use splash to kill them, that will be a benefit. And I'm probably too close to this second patch while killing this one at the top. The ice field here does slow you down, so it's annoying. It means you take probably an extra volley or 2. And my countermeasures, my missile defense system, is probably having to put in some overtime work here against these vultures because there's 3 right next to 3, so it might be getting overwhelmed. Not quite sure. Next step is to take down the Halo, and on the other threat here is this thunderclap, which is blocked by these mountains, so I'm not worried about it there. Mm-hmm. Once that Halo goes down, I just stay on the left side of these mountains, kill everything off here, kill the thunderclap and the Hellstar, and at this point you can just press S, auto the thing, and you'll be good. Everything else should be down. And that's the target for you. It's a lot trickier than the one it was replacing. If you're going to pinch someplace, I'm now thinking I would pinch this halo right here at the top, one I had to duck around this land tile for. That's probably what I would.
Is it easy to work out the timing for the pinch on that one? Because I've always
I haven't tried to.
Okay,
but
yeah. The reason I like the thunderclap, I do it a different way because I go down and around that first, island type of thing where you went up the top. Because I was because I'm more worried about being within firing range of something while you have to set up the pinch and drop the pinch. That's why, as opposed to going straight at that thunderclap, I go down below, and then I have a clear space where I'm not getting fired by any HTs or any other turrets. And then I drop the pinch on that first thunderclap, and then move in at that point in time. But
yeah, there are different ways to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, damage taken was exactly even, penetrative, and explosive. So I guess that says your armor configuration should be about even, is my general takeaway from that.
Yep.
And 49 minutes of damage, which the one I did right before this, I got 59. So there's some uncertainty of sorts in there.
Okay.
And I guess I should get my I should hit one more and get my photon, not for second mission, get my photon UV photon build going.
Yeah. I still have a few hours because I have an hour and a half until I can switch over to something new.
Yeah, I've actually got 12 hours left now that I think about it. So.
Okay. Got to wake up. Well, no, well, that's not good timing for you because
it's not. Yeah, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. to do this.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe have the watchdogs do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mike, did you want to try again, or do you think you learned what you needed to learn?
I don't drive it that way, so that's obviously one of my problems.
Because I think we ran this through you. Didn't we run you through this last week or last month?
Last month, I think we did.
Yeah,
possibly. I do remember part of that, but not all of it.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm sitting next to one if you want to do it.
I mean, your choice. I can. I'll light you.
I need it. I mean,
you're already lit up and full screen.
Okay. Wait a minute. What did I do? There's something wrong here. Might as well go into something while I check my problem.
Okay.
Or unless I was trying to hit the wrong target.
Yeah. And as Lady Cat learned, you can hit the FM targets with anything, but
I probably was trying to hit the wrong target.
Okay. Yeah, don't try to auto 135 with mutineers.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. I was trying to hit a 145.
Yeah, the 138.
8. There it is. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I do remember we going.
You want to walk them through it, Derpy?
Yeah, it's just that's a good start there. Staying off to the left to kill those mortars, and the mountain should block the vultures.
Just doing my little hat dance there.
Yeah, there you go. And you can reach that ship from just about where you're at if you want to and didn't kill it with splash.
That's what I was trying to do. There we go.
And those mortars are right in front of you. You don't really need to be worried about. You don't have to use the mountains on those things because your countermeasures work against all of it. And your next thing you want to do, cut across the ice patch right where you are, kill that rocket as quickly as possible, and keep moving in a straight line. That should help.
And what I did do is I was just kept moving here, but yep, see it shoots.
Yeah, you got a shot off. And then if you shift click the brimstone again to see the range, make sure you don't go inside it. Yep, kill the ship. And as soon as it's about to be dead, move forward. As soon as the last volley is, in the air, right about now. I can't quite tell if that was earlier, or couldn't quite tell how good the timing was, but I think it was on there.
Then I'm going to come back around here.
That's what I do there.
Yeah, see, for some reason, I was killing this guy.
Yeah, if you do that, you get in range of a heavy turret. And it shouldn't do any damage to you anyway.
So we're looking at this grouping.
You're looking at the brimstone to the left of that. So yeah, to kill the brimstone, and that path straight forward there isn't great because you're in range of 2 heavy turret fields for a longer time. So I like to move down a little bit more to about there, and then cut into the same point, the same final point. But you don't want to go much further than the end of your countermeasure range right now. So just clicking on it and move, keep going. You just directly click on the turret, and that should move you to a good spot. Yeah, stop. You're a little close there to the thunderclap and brimstone at the bottom. Yeah, keep moving to the right now. Perfect. Now you're still in range of a heavy turret, so you can't afford to stop for very long.
So I want this, right?
You want the thunderclap first. There you go. And thunderclap, and then you can kill the ship. And if you move it in a little circle, that might help reduce some splash damage. It doesn't matter; it's dead now. And stay at max range there.
Screwed up. I recognize that.
It's kind of small on my screen, so I can't see every detail.
That was my mistake. Then I usually just come down here.
Yeah, and just make sure that thunderclap doesn't hit you, and get that. I get that last vulture turret.
Yep. I'm gonna have to go back up for it.
It looks like you might be able to get it from there.
I don't know.
Not quite.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't want to be in range and of the HT turret.
At this point, you could press S, and that would be good.
We did.
Oh, 2 steps ahead of me.
Yeah, it's gonna be over an hour.
I'll work on this, and maybe I'll have Mike watch because I have a hard time. We'll see if it works, even at that. Maybe I'll try it out before. I remember I was doing a lot of like weird, I was using a crew and a pinch, but I swear I was getting this down into like 18, 22 minutes last time around, but I could be wrong on that.
I actually made a mistake up here or over here, and I took some damage from this guy.
Okay.
But I wouldn't expect, it was like 10 minutes worth.
Yeah, because the crew that you want to use in here is, the cheap crew is the steelheads. Obviously, you would, want to use demo squad, but, those don't grow on trees. But the steelheads are, the 1-star steelheads are not uncommon. So.
Okay, so I took a little more explosive.
Okay.
Not even. hour and 8.
Okay.
So
And you were taking an hour and a half before, so that's,
yeah, obviously room for improvement even there.
Okie dokie. Let's see. While we were talking, I autoed a one. Oh, I took 56 minutes. I took more damage autoing the new mutineer target than you guys were taking. So,
Well, maybe Lady Cat and I are better at autoing than you.
yeah, it's possible, very possible. But one of you was running a crew. I wasn't running a crew.
Yeah, well,
So,
I wasn't. I still have one hanging out at U3 because I've been too lazy to upgrade it.
Okay. Yeah, I thought we had similar builds, but maybe not.
I do have a little bit of a weird thing going on with ships 4 and 5 with more raid armor. We were talking about that in the pre-show with Mike. I might even not do that because it was such a small difference, and I put the wrong ships in the slot anyway. So
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's
my
see.
Everest, by the way, I'm maxed out. I can't put more than 2 of the new armors on each one.
that's what we were going to talk about.
Right. So we have to fiddle around with. You were going to talk about countermeasures, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
well-
get the right build going on.
Yeah, as far as if you have only 3 countermeasures, you're limited in the number of armors you can put on. So,
Yeah, and I have 6 on my flag. 6 countermeasures on my flag, and so
Let's see. So I was. What engine are we using? The RFX, which we are supposedly getting a new engine in the raid. Is that correct?
yes, the capstone. So, already. Oh, it was the slides. I'm sorry. I didn't think you had the slides up, Lady Cat, because it was that picture. I'm sorry. I was trying not to go there because I wasn't sure what was showing. But yeah, in the little thumbnail I see, I thought you were. You weren't on the slides. So, while you're working on that, Derpy, if you wanted to, let's go ahead with the next slide. All right.
I have my Everest in the shipyard. If you want to go to that now or later.
You're not sharing it though. There we go.
So this is my Everest, and as long as I put the last 2 mortars in the slot, this is the build that the specials I have going for right now across the 4 back ships. If I try and load that out with the new armor and I put 3 of each, it is too heavy. I can do 4, but as soon as I put this last 2, it's too heavy. I need to take something off. If that makes sense. The first thing that I could take off is just take off a mortar, which translates to a 17% damage reduction, and because you're taking off 1 out of 7, and put on a missile defense system 3, that gets underweight for now. That's something you can do. And this is what right now I'm planning for.
Yeah.
The other thing is that if I put this mortar back on, the other option people are going for.
Why did you go with MDS3 as opposed to the Gale 4?
Because my flagship has a lot of Gale 4s on it already, and okay. I think I was having enough Gale coverage. I was actually thinking I might even get. I might even need more missile defense system 3s on my build anyway.
And there's another one. Take out that mortar
and put on what?
The sprint.
The sprint doesn't work.
The sprint works in the 135s.
Except I'm not hitting those things. So
okay, but just just show that it works.
But it works in the 135s, but not any of the other targets, not Correct. Any of the Everest targets. It only works with the Tornado targets.
Yeah, but
I don't even like showing that because the sprint says it should work, but the targets are weird. So You're underweight with the sprint.
It works in the 135, which at this point in time appears to be a stable target that gives you 6,000 points per. But do you think the
other option that might actually be better is instead of countermeasure loaders 4, you put on countermeasure loaders 3. That is you go from having a mortar reload of 25% to a mortar reload of 20%, and your countermeasures are a little bit worse, but it's an option in terms of fitting weight too.
Okay.
And the engine we're getting in the future may actually be better than the RFX for a lower adding weight. So that's something to think about.
Yeah, because it does add a lot of weight. I mean, relative, if you can scroll over the RFX.
Yes, just give me a second here.
Okay.
And I go to say combat speed. Yeah, combat speed doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah, RFX adds 32% total weight here.
Which is huge.
Which is, yeah, especially when you're comparing to the other limited engines we've recently gotten, which adds something like 14% instead of 32.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, so it's as somebody used to say, she's a little bit chunky. So that's worth consideration as far as, if you don't want to refit now and wait. But remember, we're also getting these tokens that are coming out at this point in time. So use it or lose it, because you're going to get 6 tokens, I think, 5 or 6 tokens for your Everest, and
1, 2, 3,
6.
No, let's see. Looks like 5 to me.
Okay, yeah, 5.
Oh, no,
okay.
no, but it's 6. It's 6 because the mastery's separate. So you get 6, and like me, I already have, if I scroll through this massive list of tokens, I already have 6.
Yep.
And 6 plus 6 is 12, which is too many. So I have to use 2.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, now that we got that straightened out, I'm going to go back over to the slides. And we have the UV Photon ECM, which is the new flagship. Basically, all the stats, except for the special abilities, are identical. Special abilities differ. We have the differences, the aura, which I'm hoping shows up. The thing that they don't like to show us, the 40 range aura, I'm not liking. But we go from 4,000 to 10,000, so that's quite advantageous. And they've replaced the aim hack UAV, which reduces accuracy of the I guess both ships and turrets that it hits, I'm assuming, with a short range EMP, which I think is probably, I don't know if it's aimed at turrets and ships as far as what our expected use is for it, but I think it's meant for the little squid ones. I forget the Latin name, but it means
the Dodicius or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's a weapon or a field or what, because the other EMPs we have in the game are listed a little bit like this, where it's not very clear.
Yeah. So that's the big difference. I don't know. I was hoping for something a little bit different, because ECM means elite countermeasures, and
electronic countermeasure.
I thought it was elite. There was one where it spelled it out, but the fact that we've been going through this, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. None of these are countermeasure ships, at least with the targets. So it's a little bit misleading with the name, at least in my opinion.
Maybe it's Canadian measure.
Yeah, maybe it's 2BC. But yeah, this is available. Hopefully everybody saved up their tokens. But we'll get into, remember this, it's a 40 range, 40 splash, reload time of 2, and a stun time of 2 when we go through the components of the raid target in Electric Storm. So
We are still not sure if it is a permanent stun or not. With reload time and stun time being the same.
Oh, if they stay inside of your range, it seems like it should be, right?
You never know.
Yeah, that's true. So, okay. And the firing angle makes me think it's an aura, right? Well, but I don't know what I mean, or makes it. Why did they put the firing angle of 360 in there? Because normally, if it doesn't say on a ship, it's 360, right? Okay, we'll move on then. All right. So store, all you need to do is 3 sets in order to get the UV photon started up. It's 20K per set. So, I would get that going as soon as possible.
What's the build time on it?
Well, you can go back to the last slide, or
7 days.
Was it 7? Okay.
7 days, 4 hours, 44 minutes. Okay, move forward. And the large UV photon VXP token, they give you 3. I guess nobody knows at this point. Maybe some people know that have coined it out or saved up a bunch of tokens. How many? You might not need all 3, but you might need 3. So before you claim all 3, claim 2. Try to get it up, and then go from there. And don't forget about the Blacklight missile down here below. That's actually going to be the most expensive part of Pillage for a lot of people, unless you need to get the invader plates. Well, it's still going to be the most expensive because you need to claim 10 at 22.5K. What were you going to say? I'm sorry. What were you going to say, Mike?
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt, but didn't they, the last time they offered these VXP tokens, we didn't need all 3 of them?
The previous 4 times you did not, but then I think the last time you did need all 3,
last
right?
time you did? Okay, I don't know. I was thinking that only 2 were required and 3 were offered.
But I think the last time
the
last time I think you did need them.
Okay.
So I'm just on everybody.
What
Claim
was
2.
that most recent Holby then? That was that the mains Gladius? That one would need 125K total.
Yeah.
And they should be 50K VXP tokens.
Yep.
So the Gladius did, but the Mutineer and whatever else was before that did not.
Still good advice though. Try 2.
Yeah, try 2. And 2 might even get you up to 73%, which if you're crunched on points might be close enough for you.
So, yeah. And let's see what's next. Oh, I think next is our strategy guide. Yep. Electrical Storm, which occurs next week, where you get the Photon ECM X1 upgrades already. I haven't started U1, and we're already talking about X1. And then we also got upgrades for the Everest and Cloudbreaker up to U3, and the C9 Capstone engine, which we mentioned earlier, and the Bathiel Depth Charge Concussive Heavy Turret. We talked about this last week. I just wanted to use that as a intro and remind people. So let's go on. Okay. The Desiccadus?
Dosiccadus? Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Desiccadus.
Desiccadus.
I'm sick of this.
Yes, it's the genus name for the Humboldt squid. So it's supposed.
I thought this looked like the viperfish, but underwater.
Yeah. So these occur in groups of 4 or 5. They're usually gathered around a ghost crawler. They're very fast. They swarm at you, then they submerge and whatnot. You can outrange them, but you can't outrun them.
And furthermore, you can outrange them very, very easily. They have about 30 or 40 range, whereas you have about 90. You have 92.5, or is that correct? Is that the number for missiles? Very short range would be better.
97, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then let's go back. Yeah, you mentioned you thought their range was what?
More like 40.
Go
Okay,
back
40, okay. Go back to the ship.
It might be
Okay.
35. It might be 55. I can't tell that closely. It might get inside that range of the EM pulse. It might not. I didn't get numbers that specific.
Yeah. But I just wanted to bring up this is what I'm guessing is the function of the short range EMP is to deal with this ship.
Not that they were much of a threat anyway, but
yeah. So okay, we can go back. All right, very easy to destroy. They're scattergun pack a punch. They like to deep submerge until close to their enemies before swarming them. So
I'm not sure these things are deep diving. I wasn't seeing that behavior.
Yeah,
They might have been. It was difficult for me to tell.
Yeah, they're very fast. I mean, they're 100+ combat speed. So,
and they were
and they have no stun resistance. So, and they have splash. So, this might be an option to leave a ship behind. I don't know. It would probably be your flag, right? Because your flag could then stun them at that range. So maybe you're supposed to tank these with the flag while limiting the damage to the rest of your ships. Again, we haven't really, seen these targets with real ships, or at least most of us have not. So, okay, we can move on unless anybody has anything else on this. Ghost crawler or half a ghost crawler?
That makes me. Why do I only see the top half of the ship? That's stupid. I mean, come on. I don't want to get killed by something that I can't even see properly.
I'm running a comment. I do have comments, but this one definitely does deep submerge. It's also corrosive. Also does splash. So it's it says the damage is high. The video I've watched with people that had fully built ships, they weren't outranging them because their movement is erratic. But the range is similar to ours, right? From what you've seen?
The what I saw experimentally and what was verified in the Discord general chat there was that the range is actually it's about 5 range less than you. So if you drive on a nail's edge, you might just be able to outrange it, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, because it doesn't make a straight path towards you. It's sort of dodging and turning the whole time. It's difficult. It would be a difficult thing to kite properly, at least on a regular basis. At least what I've seen as far as what we saw in the VXP target. So this is one of the ones too, and it has some stun resistance. So as far as the built-in short-range EMP, with the UV photon, we might expect, as opposed to being stunned for 2 seconds, it's stunned for 1 second or something like that. Would be the expectation.
Yeah, and it was more like the ghost crawler was stunned for 10 seconds while everything else was stunned for 20. Was what we were seeing in the with the little pointy needle building that we'll get to.
Yeah, which we haven't got to yet. So yeah, so about 50%. Yeah,
It should say medium. It should say same as you, slightly less than you, or just give us a number.
Yeah, give us a number. I mean, there's because there's some coming up where I'm like, give us a number. I mean, because
this one should say, even if they don't, they should say medium, not short.
Okay.
Unless they're only doing a true false, you can outrange it or you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, or the other one should be the other one should be very short.
Yeah. Very short, medium, long, and those make more sense to me here.
Okay. Well, let's move on from the ghost crawler. All right, the stonefish, long range, significantly outranges you, fires missiles, not counterable. Yeah, they are. They don't really move that fast. They do not do the deep submerge. They do not do splash. But as I recall, most of the time with the stonefish, they don't run right at you. They sort of make a curve to come get you. They're more of a. They're trying to catch you, at least historically, with what I recall with the stonefish. So this is the one where you have to make a beeline to it. It's not going to make a beeline to you like the little squid ship. So, and we've seen these before. But again, missiles not counterable. Yeah.
And the missiles are it says no splash.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ones that'll hide. There's sometimes you finish a target, and if you haven't found the stonefish, you're searching forever for it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Venom spitter scattergun turret. These can be outranged, even though its range is short. As long as you have a range extender on there. Unless they create some situations where you need to run into them or they pop up right in front of you, you should never really take any damage from these.
Even on auto, you should be fine. Yeah. I think this is in here to make using zealots more damaging.
Okay. Oh, because of the zealots only have a 66 range?
That's what I was going for.
Yeah. Which is highly annoying. So, okay, let's move on. All right, the Death Sight missile turret. Again, missile, low counter chance. They fire a salvo of somewhere between like 10 and 14. High damage. They definitely outrange you. No splash. Can be stunned.
The two most important notes here are long range, high flak evade, and high damage.
Yeah.
And evade does work against this.
Yeah. That would be the. So this is the one that really forces choices on your build. And I don't know enough about them to say what those choices necessarily are. And I'm saving up tokens to see what happens in the raid, to make my final decisions once we see the effectiveness of different things, because I'm in a world where I don't start till 9 o'clock Eastern. And some people are starting 3 hours earlier. So it gives me time to adjust to whatever this does, because this is the one I don't understand as well. This is the one I'm adjusting to personally. Yeah, Calvin. That's my point. I mean, I want, I'm just saving tokens to that point in time to figure out if that's true, and then make adjustments at the last minute. Make sense? Any more thoughts on the dust scythe?
It's probably the big threat here. What I saw in people's videos was that they were killing this thing fairly easily, so health was not a large problem on really any of these things. It was more of the damage in the time it takes you to catch up to the thing and to get to the thing and kill the thing. Yeah,
and and I think a lot of this is going to be figuring out the target, and we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go to the next slide. I think the slide after the next is the one that's most, but let's talk about this one. The little yellow flag means it is increasing damage of all the turrets, and they appear to stack. What we saw in the VXP targets, there was 3 of these, so each one was adding some percentage to the damage. So kill them. Don't avoid them. But most
don't charge into a bunch of scattergun turrets trying to kill it quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can effectively, it's sort of like it's sort of similar to like the defensive ones, titanium generators that we were seeing in the TLCs this week. If you can figure out a way to get to them without taking more damage, do it, but don't do something stupid in order to kill it. Those ones were providing a defensive bonus to the turrets, but this one's providing an offensive bonus. So, okay. All right, the Scourge Relay Tower. They temporarily stunned, and you were saying they were getting stunned for 20 seconds? Or was that just
closer to 20 than 2 in terms of orders of magnitude?
Okay. This is what I meant by driving. Once you start driving the targets and figuring out where these are, because this map is almost completely submerged when you enter the target. So you need to wait until you figure out where these things are and what angles to take, because you're going to want to take angles, especially if it's, I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 20 seconds, in order to how to maximize the efficiency of hitting targets and using these to stun both the ships, if you want the ghost crawlers and whatnot. I don't know. It's good. This is the tricky part. This is the wild card as far as where these are in the target and how you use them, and whether you use them just to take out the death scythe, or you use them to take out the ghost crawler. Yeah, this is the tricky part of the whole thing. So,
well, is there one more here, or is that the last one?
Last slide.
The other thing to note in these targets is the land tiles are sort of predicted where they will. It shows you a darker patch of water where they are underwater, so you can tell where things are going to be. And this is information that could have easily been released a week or 2 weeks ago. I think based off the VXP targets, I did make a video based off those, which had all this information with the exception of I didn't know what the titanium extractor did. But getting that information 2 weeks earlier officially would be great.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I assume they know this stuff before we even win the prizes, so I don't know why they wait in order to
They
announce.
should know it, and they should have it planned. Occasionally, apparently, they might not.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this is the last slide. Is there anything else you think we missed before Friday?
We didn't talk a whole lot about the gifts. I mean, I guess we did. No, we did. There's the weekly and the daily gifts.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Lady Cat, is this your part of the show?
No.
I don't know.
This is where the voter fraud occurred.
Yeah.
I finally won.
You've won like 3 of
First time
these.
I ever won. Don't give me a hard time.
Well, do you want to explain to Derpy why it was not voter fraud?
I didn't vote. I mean, it was, who did vote? I guess.
It was a bunch of Canadians voting. Is what happened.
Yeah, that's
okay. Well,
very dangerous.
I thought your watchdogs were on it. I mean,
that's where the voter fraud was from.
they weren't they? They were watching.
Apparently, I thought it was a pun. I thought that was a good enough one.
Okay, so you don't want to go through them, Lady Cat?
No, I think everybody's seen them all.
I don't know.
Everyone who wants to has probably seen that.
Yeah, I think we showed them all, a lot of them the first day. And
yeah, but you can enjoy your 3 24-hour ship build tokens and 100 gold. You'll have those extra tokens there. If I were to somehow get those 3 extra tokens for FM, that would really help me finish my photon ECM fleet in time, wouldn't it? And get it upgraded U1 or U2.
There was also a deal for $10. You could have got the 100 gold and 2 tokens. So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you want to refresh on this one? On this slide?
On this slide?
Yeah.
That I did think that orange building in the VXP target, it didn't actually. The main turret next to it popped up close, and then it didn't actually. The orange turret didn't pop up till you were within
19.
That was not mine. Oh, the poor dog.
Yep. So I don't know. Voter fraud.
Well, we can just make unsubstantiated claims about whatever we want, and it will be true.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, if we don't have anything else, I guess we'll talk to you all on Friday, and I don't know. See if we all have better paths on some of these targets, and get everything down to closer to instant repair in the base.
Or if we can overturn the result of this pet contest, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be something. I would find that unexpected, because I think most of the winners were in the U.S. and this is all under Canadian law, and somebody would probably need to be extradited from Canada to the U.S. and I don't know what the extradition laws are. Are you familiar with that, Derpy? You're closer to the border than I am.
I am not familiar, but as far as I know, they're all closed off right now anyway.
Okay.
You can, yeah.
They let anybody through, though.
Okay. Because what do you mean by anybody? Just that you've gotten through?
Twice.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you didn't have to
Get a court order to go through, bribe them.
No.
Well, I mean, the border is, they need to put a wall up on that border. I mean, it's that's, you can get across anywhere on that border. It's not really So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on Friday, and wish you the best of Pillage, and talk to you then.
Good night, all.
Later, people.
Nighty night.